I bought a $3 paint with water Pokemon colouring book. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. That's what that intro felt like. And in this video, I'm transforming the whole colouring book. Every single drawing, I'm going to be transforming into a horrific Pokemon evolution. See what I did there? I'm not just transforming these pages, I'm evolving them. That's a Pokemon reference. Moving on, like a good little boy, I'll be following the instructions laid out for me, which state, dip your paintbrush in some water, then swirl it in the paint palette on each page to bring your pictures to life. Scrap that last bit. I won't be following that. I will in fact be bringing my pictures to death. Sorry, Pikachu. It's nothing personal. In case it wasn't abundantly clear, this video is not made for kids. I will be drawing some gore, some creepy things. There will be a trypophobia warning later on in the video, which is a drawing with lots of holes, which is kind of gross. So if you're not into that, don't watch this video. You've been warned. But for everyone else who enjoys scary, creepy, gross drawings, that sounds like really weird, why would you like that? But if you do, you should definitely subscribe to my channel. I upload lots of content like that. I put a lot of time into these videos, especially this video. Filling this whole book took a long time and tests my sanity, much to the concern of the people around me, who probably think I have some problem. I'm normal, I swear. That sounds like something a crazy person would say. And now I'm making multiple voices with different personalities in my videos. Oh no, it's a slippery slope. Speaking of slippery slopes, I have gone down the dark rabbit hole of true crime. I've been watching way too much content, watching YouTube videos, Netflix shows, podcasts, and it's got me worried that if I ever got framed for anything, I would have absolutely no chance. They would go through my old creepypasta videos, they'd find these colouring books I have transformed, and they would think, yup, the signs are all there. We always knew there was something not quite right about Jordan Persegati. But his drawings have some nice detail and texture. How does he do that realistic blood effect? It must be real blood. Lock him up! Poor little Sobble, he's been having some teething problems lately. I'm working my way through the Gen 8 starters in this colouring book, and though my transformations may be horrific, I think they do not compare to the horror of the official evolutions of these 3 starters. Maybe that's just me, but I'm not really a fan of their final evolutions. But who am I to say what looks good and what doesn't? Look at the abominations I draw. It's definitely more divisive than any of the Pokemon designs out there. For this transformation of Scorebunny, I've decided to give him lots of watching eyes, which I imagine to have some type of psychic power which can set things on fire by looking at them. And then he feeds the charcoal remains into his face mouth thing that's like in the middle of his head. He's got 2 mouths, one for eating carrots, the other for eating the char-grilled remains of his enemies. Next up is Grookie, an adorable little monkey Pokemon who is getting a not so adorable horror transformation. I'm sorry, little dude. This little Grookie lives in a fierce tribe where they must fight to survive. He has sustained many battle wounds, but he will come back stronger. And he's gonna whack you with his stick! Speaking of sticks, this next Pokemon, Yampa, loves playing fetch. Although, this particular version of Yampa doesn't like chomping on sticks, and much prefers human bones. Who's a good boy? Yampa never had very good eyesight, but it could smell its prey just fine. Snack time! Up next is the fan favourite, Eevee. Wait a second, Eevee is evolving! What's it gonna turn into? My Eevee used to be so cute, but then I gave it a bloodstone, and it's never been the same since. Eevee. Eevee, stop eating my other Pokemon! Now I've got to catch another Pidgey, damn it! Bulbasaur, the poor neglected first-gen leaf starter. Everyone's chosen a Squirtle or a Charmander, and Bulbasaur is left to rot. Professor Oak had been trying to find a new trainer to adopt Bulbasaur, but the new trainers would come, they would choose their Squirtles or Charmanders, and they would go. Bulbasaur, always left behind. Until one day where Professor Oak was sick of having the Bulbasaur around and took him out into the forest where he would provide sustenance for the mushrooms and fungi and become one with nature. That got really dark. Sorry about that. I actually really like Bulbasaur. I just wanted to draw a cordyceps version where the fungus is taking over its body. It's a pretty horrific process if you look up cordyceps and see what the fungus does to its host. Absolutely terrifying, and you can see why it was the inspiration for The Last of Us. Every day I'm grateful that this does not infect human beings. At least, not yet. Oh god, it's coming for us all! And the award for the longest time spent on a single drawing in this colouring book goes to... that really hurt my fingers. Bulbasaur! Yeah, I was pretty much the voice actor for Bulbasaur. No big deal. Up next is Charmander. And let's be honest, this is probably the starter that 90% of people chose back in the day. Or maybe you chose a Squirtle because you wanted to be different and you wanted to counter your mate who chose a Charmander. That's fair enough. But how could you resist Charmander, knowing it turns into a frickin' dragon later on? It's a top tier starter, and it was definitely part of my team. I've got fond memories of my max level Charizard, destroying helpless Pokemon with Flamethrower. I always did love a good barbecue. Charmander is staying true to its name and is looking rather crispy. I think one of its flame attacks backfired. Whoops. Squirtle is up next, and I've always been a big fan of this evolution line, especially Blastoise is pretty badass, and I have got a tragic story about Blastoise. Back when I was a little kid, my best mate had a shiny Blastoise Pokemon card, and he traded it for a Machamp because they both had the same amount of HP, and he for some reason thought that was a good idea. It wasn't a good idea, and he still regrets it to this day. Every night when he goes to sleep he thinks of that shiny Blastoise that he will never have again. A tragic tale of loss and regret. He was never the same after that trade. Why is my Squirtle shooting blood instead of water? I should probably get his internals checked out. Now is time for the trypophobia warning. Skip this one if you don't like holes. Lots of holes. What is inside those deep, dark holes? I made that way more weird than it had to be. I told you to skip this drawing. Seriously, just click ahead. The next one's a good one. Or stay and gaze into the holes. I'm making it weird again, aren't I? I've really got to stop doing that. If one tries to count all the holes on a Wooloo, it is said they will fall into a deep sleep and never awake. Crikey! It's a wild Dreadnought! Look at the chompers on it! This is one mad Sheila you don't want chasing ya!
Here is a wild Dreadnought. We must tread carefully so as to not further enrage this majestic beast. As a consequence of the changing climate and further pollution of our oceans, Dreadnought have been getting progressively more pissed off. Fair enough, Dreadnought. Fair enough.
We started this video with a Pikachu, and we're gonna end the video with another Pikachu. The circle of life and death continues. Namaste. I don't think that's how I meant to use that phrase. This isn't a yoga class. Although, now that I think of it, it kind of looks like Pikachu is doing a yoga pose, so we're gonna go with it. That brings us to the end of another drawing video. If you know anyone who likes Pokemon, consider sharing this video with them to either make their day or ruin it, depending on their opinion of horror art. If you enjoy art videos like this, you should subscribe. I upload new content each week, that way you won't miss out. And a massive thank you to all of my amazing patrons for supporting my channel even more. You can find some bonus content on there, and it really helps me keep doing what I'm doing. Bye.